Old religious views support the existence of heaven and hell, while modern spiritualism tends to reject such rigid ideas. Some speculate that in the spiritual world, our minds create our reality, meaning the belief in heaven, hell, demons, and devils shapes these experiences. On the other hand, more orthodox believers claim that these places and beings exist, regardless of what you believe. Also, modern spiritualism describes hell as an energy reconstruction space, where souls with out-of-balance destructive energies get reconstructed rather than being punished. Similarly, demons and devils are seen in traditional religions as literal beings, while modern spiritualism often views them as people who, through bad intentions, became what we label as demons. So, what's the truth? Today, we'll explore an interesting story of a woman's journey to hell, guided by Jesus himself. In March 1976, an American woman named Mary Catherine Baxter visited hell, guided by Jesus. Mary said, "That night, as I was praying before bed as usual, Jesus suddenly appeared before me. He told me that I was chosen by God, and he was going to show me what hell looks like. My only task was to clearly document everything I saw and share it with the world to let people know that hell is real." From that night onward, Mary spent 30 nights witnessing everything in hell. She described hell as being shaped like a human, with each part representing a different section of hell, imprisoning countless souls who committed various wrongs during their lives. The most terrifying part was the mouth of hell, because no one had ever escaped from it. Interesting thing is, this coincides with Emanuel Swedenborg's description of hell. Mary Catherine Baxter was born in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Although she grew up in a devout Christian family, she had never witnessed a miracle until 1976. Mary said, "I never thought I would see Jesus in person, let alone that he would take me on a tour of hell." According to her, hell is vast and filled with endless torments. Millions of souls will suffer there for eternity. The night Jesus explained his purpose to me, I suddenly felt incredibly light, and in the next moment, I realized I had floated off the ground, passing through walls. I could see my husband and children sleeping, as well as my own body. Jesus first showed me heaven, but that wasn't our final destination. We continued flying higher until I could see the entire earth. Strangely, despite flying, I didn't feel the wind or cold. If it weren't for the rapidly changing scenery below, I might have thought I was still standing still. As Mary was mesmerized by the flying experience, she suddenly saw a deep, dark entrance ahead. It was a winding tunnel with no end. Jesus said, "This is the gate to hell." After entering the tunnel, the surroundings changed completely. There was no light, and Mary could only see by the glow coming from Jesus. To her horror, the walls of the tunnel were crawling with dark gray creatures. Jesus said, "These are Satan's demons. They wait on the walls for Satan's orders and will swarm out when commanded." Hearing this, Mary became scared and moved closer to Jesus. After some time, they reached the end of the tunnel. Mary heard strange sounds and smelled the scent of rotting flesh and sulfur. She later learned that these sounds were the groans of souls in hell. Jesus told Mary, "We are about to enter the left leg of hell. You will see great sorrow and indescribable terror. Stay close to me. I will give you strength to protect you as we journey through hell." As soon as Jesus finished speaking, Mary found herself in a vast land with countless pits, each emitting flames. From within these flames, she heard horrific screams and realized that there were people inside the pits. In one pit, a man called out to Jesus, "Lord Jesus, I've been here for almost 40 years. Have mercy on me and take me out of here." Jesus looked saddened and replied, "It's too late." Mary was shocked. She thought, doesn't Jesus love everyone? Why wouldn't he save him? But Jesus simply told Mary, "It's too late. He made his choice during his life. We don't have much time. We will return tomorrow." The next morning, when Mary woke up at home, she couldn't believe what she had experienced. She kept wondering if it was just a nightmare or if Jesus had really taken her to hell. The question haunted her mind. Soon, evening came again, and as her husband and children went to sleep, Jesus appeared once more and said, "My child, tonight we will enter the right leg of hell. Do not be afraid. I will be with you." Mary found herself back in the tunnel filled with terrifying creatures. This time, at the end of the tunnel, Jesus led her in another direction. Mary described the right leg of hell as a dry, burning road where many demons gathered. A large demon stood on high, speaking to smaller demons below. "Tonight, we will go to the human world to make weak-willed people commit bad decisions. If we succeed in spreading evil, you will be rewarded." After that, the demons split into two groups, one flying through the tunnel Mary had come through, and the other heading toward an open door. Mary asked Jesus, "Why don't you stop them?" Jesus replied, "A person cannot serve both God and demons. Every person must choose whom to serve during their lifetime. That's the real reason I brought you to hell, to witness its existence so you can tell people, giving them the chance to make the right choice." Over the next few days, Mary continued to tour hell with Jesus, witnessing many souls in torment. One soul particularly stood out, a spirit preaching the gospel in hell. The spirit said, "Jesus is the truth, and he will save you." Mary was puzzled and asked Jesus why a preacher would end up in hell. Jesus explained, "This woman preached the gospel during her life, but one day she found out her husband was having an affair. Overcome with pain, she lost her mind, killed her husband and his lover, and then took her own life. Despite realizing her mistake now, it's too late. Come, tonight I will take you to hell's belly." According to Mary, the belly of hell was a vast prison which kept expanding as more souls were added. Inside the cells, countless horrors unfolded, and Satan drew power from the suffering of these souls. The souls here had harmed others for personal gain during their lives: drug dealers, thieves, scammers, even witches. One soul, who had used words to slander others, now experienced the pain of having their blood drained daily. Another soul, a former drug dealer, was endlessly stabbed by a demon with a spear. Among these suffering souls, Mary noticed a girl locked in a cell. She was shocked, but Jesus gestured for her to look more closely. The girl's face began to change, alternating between a young girl and an old woman, with her muscles being torn apart repeatedly. Jesus said, "This person was a witch in life. She cursed others for personal gain, and now she is here. Remember, the souls in hell still feel pain, and Satan gains power from their suffering." Despite witnessing these torments, Mary learned that there were even worse places in hell, such as the right wall, where the most selfish people resided. Jesus also showed Mary the left wall of hell, but warned her that its contents could not be revealed to the world, as they contained visions of the end times. In hell's final section, Jesus led Mary to the head of hell. Just as they were about to reach it, a deafening sound echoed, and Mary saw the mouth of hell open. A giant chain dragged terrified souls into hell. Jesus said, "This is the mouth of hell. Every time it opens, a new group of souls enters. These are the newly dead, and once they enter, they can never leave. The mouth of hell has a barrier that allows entry but not exit. Once inside, they are trapped forever." Despite all she had seen, Mary was still terrified by the sight of hell's mouth. The newly arrived souls desperately struggled and screamed as they were pulled in, while demons cheered in the background. In the end, whether hell and demons exist as real, external entities or as manifestations of our beliefs, is a question that challenges both traditional religion and modern spiritualism. The story we've shared today offers one perspective, but the truth may lie somewhere between belief and experience. What's certain is that many of these ideas are deeply personal and subjective, shaped by our faith, culture, and personal encounters.